Decolonization. What is the first thing that comes to mind? Especially decolonization in our education system, an important matter that needs to be addressed. The larger aim of the project is to address students and student culture in the university context to transform their reality and liberate them from traditional ways of oppression, from ways they are not even aware of. We identify two moments within the process of informing. One, coming to realize the reality for what it is and identify what is oppressing students. Two, find a willpower inside themselves to emancipate them from the oppressor. In our university, it has become very easy to accept and adapt towards oppression, and it is our duty to change that. Our aim was to converse with students, for communication and dialogue is key in educating a community. We went out into the university and found people from different faculties to share their experiences, understandings, and how they feel. We asked them a series of questions, in which the most important was, what does decolonization mean to them? And what within our university system can be identified as oppressive. It is very evident through the material represented that people are afraid or uninterested to address the matter, as we were refused by the majority of people to discuss the subject, where we initially thought people would be more than willing to share their opinions. People are uneducated in what decolonization means and what it means to the university education system. We have to educate and change our circumstances. In relation to our research and expeditions, this is what we found.
I think it should have more to do with South African history than world history. We learn a lot about North American education system and stuff, but not a lot about our own, like where that comes from and so on. For example, in zoology we did research on monkeys and stuff that you only find here.
It's a big word. But anyway, maybe allowing more people that probably initially did not have opportunity to study, to actually study, but probably also giving chance to, because I know that education systems usually have a way that they're organized. So probably just making it a bit more free and incorporating what probably other people think. Yeah, something.
So what do you understand?
Giving people what's rightfully theirs. Foreign structures or factors basically that influence education areas.
Okay, the next one is what do you think about decolonizing, like what they're doing in university, like in our education? How do you see decolonizing in our education? For example, the language barriers that is put. For example, Afrikaans is, we're taking it away now, so that's decolonizing. Do you see another object or something in this university that represents decolonization?
Besides the language barriers, I don't see
Okay, cool. If you would decolonize something in our education, for example, what would your first step be? Where would you go? Like, what would you do? Would you gather people? Would you go speak to their departments? What would you do?
I think first gathering people and getting other people's thoughts and opinions, looking at positives, negatives of things, and then so that when you take it to another level or when you speak to the superiors or something, you have a full overview of everything and not just your own perspective on decolonization, but a broad.
Okay, cool. And if you've addressed like a problem, how do you think that the top management of UP would address this issue? Do you think they would make a change, or would they just shove it under the carpet?
Honestly speaking, the management of this varsity just shuts them down.
Yeah. Okay.
Just make up an announcement, nothing changes.
Yeah. There's no real implement that is made to change it. Cool. And then we're doing this now, so we're talking about the problems and we're addressing it. What change would you like to see? What would you change here at varsity?
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
For example, an African class having an African teacher giving the class and not a white person with no history.
No, I don't think that is a problem, really. Having basically different lectures from all over the world, I think it's even it's an advantage.
Yeah.
We can benefit from it.
Yeah.
Unless like their accent is,
Yeah.
then you can't understand them. But besides that, I don't think that is a problem. So I wouldn't want that to change in any way. It also shows the diversity of South Africa as well, and that we can learn from each other, and not just be one person from Africa, and then we have just having different lectures, different people.
And it's about decolonizing education in our university. So I just want to know, first question, what comes to mind when you think of the word decolonizing? Overall, just decolonizing.
Okay, so I'd say just decolonizing for me is just taking away something from the top people and just giving it to not the poor, but the less fortunate.
Okay. What do you think about decolonizing in university education?
I think it is good because then you spread the power between all of the people.
Yeah,
So that the lesser people also have what to say.
I would say that it's a kind of a thing about giving people the chance to study whatever they want. For example, some study courses or whatever you call it. It's more difficult for some people than other people. And I'm not talking about races or whatever. I'm talking about people with money or people that don't have money. And it's like engineers is a much more expensive degree than, let's say, for example, a BCom degree. And then you're making it hard for people to study that just because of the money. And I think decolonizing it would mean making it easier for the guy that actually wanted to go and do that because he's doing BCom now, but he doesn't have the money to do the engineer's degree. That's all.
That's a good answer. Thank you. Okay, what in the university is colonized to you? What is colonized that you would like to change?
In terms of what do you mean when you say what is decolonized?
So, for example, we're studying drama and we had a class where a white lecturer was teaching something about black Africans without the proper experience and knowledge, So getting a black lecturer to give that class with the experience as well as the knowledge would have been, better. Getting the
Better
info.
for the students as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, okay. I would say we're studying BSc agricultural, and we've got a lot of lectures that's actually given by male because it's easier for man to study the degree that we're studying because it's a manly degree. So it's something you have to go out on a farm, and it's just easier for a guy because you're more developed or whatever. The degree is developed around men, and then I think giving women a better chance to actually give some classes, because I think we only have one woman lecturer or two women lecturers for all our subjects. So I think that would be something that I would say they can look at.
Okay. And if you were to start decolonizing, what would your first step be? What would the first thing be that you would think about when you want to decolonize something?
I would say the first thing you've got to look at is you've got to ask people, especially the people that are, for me to say it's unfair to women in our degree, you have to ask the women in the degree about it. You can't go on my word and say that that you're going to give more women a chance. Maybe they don't want to give class. Maybe that's not something that interested in more. So I would say, first of all, you just go to the people that's actually being denied or colonized or whatever, and just talk to them about it and get their view. And then I would say, together with that, I would say, don't just implement a plan. You can't just tell people about a plan. You have to actually go through with it and finish it up, because just telling people that you're gonna start decolonizing university or whatever, it's not gonna help anyway. So
Again, how do you feel about UP management addressing this issue?
I think that kind of correlates with what I just said. I think they should stop. I think the university management overall is just like they have this thing about talking about something and not really doing anything about it. They're talking about changing management or changing or decolonizing or making it easier for students or bringing in more professional lecturers or whatever. It doesn't help talking about it. You have to actually come and show us what you're talking about. You have to show us that you're serious about implementing the plan and not just showing us a plan.
When you hear decolonization, what's the first thing you think of? Like, what does, when I ask you what does decolonization mean, what do you think it means?
I think like making things less westernized, relevant to where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, what she said.
Okay. And then, what do you think about decolonizing the education system in our university?
Personally, I haven't seen a problem, so maybe I'm just uneducated.
No, it's fine. It's
So
legit.
I don't think we need to decolonize.
Okay.
When you say decolonization, explain. Like education.
I'm legit
elaborate.
asking how you perceive it. How you
Just when I
understand
hear it.
it. Yeah.
Right?
This is everything about how you perceive it as a student in the university.
I think there are pros and cons to it. Like there are pros and cons to everything. I think there are good sides to it in the sense that, of course, we want to decolonize, like the Afrikaans was full movement and things like that. We want to create awareness as well for a lot of activities, things happening in societies, create awareness for culture, create awareness for diversity. And I feel like educating people based on decolonizing their mind allows for diversity to be promoted and aspects of their lives. And I think they're constant because the standard that's been set for education is unfortunately the Western standard. And so if we want to further our own motives, we're going to drop in their standards and their ideals or perspective of what is right, and they don't know as much, or the South African, the African community is lesser.
Yeah.
So based on that, I think that would be a con. Makes sense?
Yeah, no, of course. And just, is there anything in our university that symbolizes oppression that needs to be decolonized? Can you identify anything? Can you identify anything in your faculty, in your courses, anything that you have like felt like, okay, this is where decolonization needs to be implemented? If not, it's fine.
Oh no. It happens. Jeez, decolonization is such a broad aspect.
Yeah, I know. Honestly.
So when you just say it, I'm like, oh, where to begin? Okay, in aspects of school, I feel that there's decolonization in so much as who can speak and who can't speak in class, or who feels judged or who feels unjudged in class, or in aspect of, for example, a law student, when we study things like jurisprudence, which has to do with a lot of black consciousness and feminism and all of those theories. I feel like when those topics comes in, it shows the lack of knowledge that people have, ignorance, and in those aspects you're like, this is why decolonization is necessary.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And also in the promotion of what the lecturers decide to teach, what they value over what they don't, what they prioritize. Like there was a subject called legal pluralism, and it was basically the Zulu, a lot of the cultures in Southern Africa, and I can't really say them because I'm not exactly South African, but a lot of people dismissed it